Dr. Hines' assistant, but what you may not know is I'm also a groomer here at the Woofery Spa. So we have been getting lots of calls from you guys concerned about your dog's grooming, since currently groomers are required to be closed. So I wanted to create a little how-to video of things that you guys can do at home in the meantime while you're waiting for your groomers to open, because I'm sure that you guys have dogs that are starting to look like Wheezy here. We've been getting a lot of calls asking us to make exceptions to the rules that come to your house, or we've had some of you guys asking if you can bring your dogs to our houses to groom them. We are legally not allowed to do that. Our liability insurance does not cover any accidents or anything like that. So it's kind of putting us in a bad position to even ask us to do those things for you. So just be kind to your groomer and be patient. They want to work, they want to groom your dogs, I promise. They're not ignoring you. We love your dogs. We want them to be well cared for and do what we can to help. So this is the best way I can think of to help you through this. So we're gonna start with the whole process. I wish that you could smell Wheezy, because she kind of smells like a dirty sock right now. So we're gonna go over how to properly bathe and clean out ears and do some basic grooming. Okay, so before we get to the bath, let's talk a little bit about parasite control. It's that time of year, all the fleas and ticks and everything, they're all exploding. So with a lot of places being closed, you can still get flea and tick control, but the first thing we'll do is check Wheezy for fleas. The quickest, easiest way to do this is to use a bright light of any sort. I'm going to use my phone flashlight. What you do is you spread the hair and shine the light very closely. And as you can see your skin. If you hold the light there for a few minutes, at the base of the tail, just check different places. Fleas love light, so they will come to the light. If you do this and you don't see any movement, you're probably okay. Also, look for flea dirt. It looks just like actual dirt, just kind of in their hair. Those are the flea poops and all that. So also ticks, you guys are probably familiar with what ticks look like. They'll grab on. Make sure when you get those, you can get like those little tick keys at the pet stores or anything. Just make sure you get those taken off too. Right? All right. You don't have any fleas. Good job. So to prevent your animal from getting fleas or ticks, make sure that you use a reputable product from your vet. The store-bought stuff just doesn't do the trick. And if you see deals online that say, get a Seresto collar for half off, I can pretty much guarantee you it's counterfeit. Those exist. They are very difficult to tell the difference. The only way to know for sure is to get it from a reputable source. So contact your vet or call us, send us a text, an email, and we'll make sure that you get the coverage that you need. We're going to go over bathing. Going to go over some techniques, but first I want to talk to you a little bit about shampoos. Make sure that you have a gentle and appropriate dog shampoo. Human shampoo cannot be used on dogs. The pH is totally different and it messes with their skin. Don't do that. Not baby shampoo, anything. If you absolutely cannot get a dog shampoo, in a pinch you can use the Blue Dawn, but it's still preferable that you use an actual dog shampoo. If you have an itchy dog, the Tropiclean Medicated is great stuff for that. You let it sit on there for 5 or 10 minutes or so. But the Tropiclean is a good brand. You can get it at Feeder Supply, PetSmart, they're all still open. If you're a little fancier and you want your dog to smell a little better, they have the spa stuff as well. Still Tropiclean, great stuff. It's easy on their eyes and their skin. Earth Bath is another good brand. You want to stay away from the cheapy discount brands. Those can cause some issues as well, some drying and whatnot. So now, first thing you want to do obviously is get them wet. A couple things I want to point out. If your dog is prone to ear infections, I know a lot of you guys have dogs with ear infections, so you may want to take some cotton and just shove them down in her ears. Now Wheezy's ears aren't really a problem. She doesn't really need that. So we're going to actually start by cleaning her ears. You're going to get an ear cleaner. Any brand's fine, really, whatever, as long as, you know, there's no medical issues. You can just get an ear flush of any sort at the pet store. And what you want to do is create a cup and pour it in and fill it up. And then squish, squish, squish. Okay. And then she's going to want to shake it. Yep, shake it out, girlfriend. All right. And then we'll do this one. Scoop, scoop, scoop. I know. Good girl. All right, shake it. That's right. And we'll talk a little bit more about how to wipe all that out when we get to the table. All right. All right, so before you just start squirting like crazy, I know a lot of you guys have these types of dogs with the squishy, flat face. Easy, you gotta get down in the tub. And with these dogs, you need to be real careful about spraying water directly in their face, because when it gets in their nose, they have difficulty breathing. So you don't want to cause any difficulty breathing for anyone, do we, Wheeze? No. So you just got to be real gentle around that face with the water. But otherwise, just, Wheezy's not really a fan of the bath, so. Make sure you get under that tail real good. Come here, Wheeze. Now, in order to hold her head still to keep from squirting into her nose, I'm going to hold the hair on her chin gently. It'll go very easily around. There we go. Good girl. All right, so soap it up. Now this is diluted shampoo. This isn't the same as the stuff that you guys would buy at the store. So I know it looks a little different, but it's the same. Good girl. Now here, I know you guys, a lot of you guys get these eye boogies that Wheezy here has. You can take a tiny little flea brush or a comb of any sort and very gently go through this and pull those out. If they're super stuck and you aren't able to get them right away like that easily, you can take a warm wash rag and just hold it on there until it softens up. But otherwise, just scrub, scrub, scrub. I know, Wheeze. Get between those toes, sides of your face, and your chin. Good job. Again, under the tail, real important. All right, gotta rinse that face off. I know, sweetie. I'm trying to be as careful as possible not to squirt water directly into her ears. Okay. All right. Now here at the shop, we always do at least 2 baths, sometimes 3, depending on the condition. So I'm going to go ahead and do her second round real quick. So next up here, we're going to towel dry, get all that extra off. I know, leave one out. After she's getting towel dry, let her shake a little bit. Some of you guys, maybe you can use a blow dryer at home if your dog will tolerate that. Just be careful with the heat. Here we have force dryers, which basically are just a dryer that when you turn it on, it blows out air forcefully. It dries a little faster. Some dogs tolerate it really well, some don't. So it's up to you. If ours are a little more expensive because they're a professional grade, but you can actually get these on Amazon for home use pretty cheaply. You know, 40 to 60 bucks usually for a small one that you can use at home while you're waiting for your groomer to open, right? All right, so when you use these, the things that you want to be careful about is their face especially. You don't want to blow directly into the ears, the eyes, or the nose. So you want to be gentle around their face. The rest of the body, you just want to, I'll turn it on low. So Wheezy is in the dryer drying a little bit more. So before we get her back out, I want to talk to you a little bit about some tools that you can get to use at home. We have lots of tools here, and some of them are appropriate for home use and some of them are not appropriate for home use. Some of them should only be used by professionals. So let's go over some of the items that you can get from Feeder Supply or even Walmart, wherever they sell dog brushes and good stuff like that. So, a slicker brush. These are not good for all coats. These are good for your thinner coats that can brush through. You need to be gentle with these when you use them. They are wired. You can brush them on your skin. You'll feel what it feels like to your dog. So you can kind of get the correct pressure that you want to use. You'll want to go with the direction of the hair growth with these. But again, these are not good for all coat types. These are good for your short hair dogs or your dogs that have the thin, non-matting kind of hair. Combs are good for everyone. I recommend you have one of these even when your groomer is working for in-between brushes. When we get Wheezy out here, we'll go over some techniques on how to use that. If you have a big time shedder, they sell these at feeders or anywhere else as well. They're called Shed Magic, and they're soft. They're not sharp, but they have the little curves and they grab onto that undercoat. So if you have a husky or something with that thick undercoat, you can use this to pull some of that out. It's not a very fast process, but it works and it's safe for their skin, and if you were to slip, you're not going to accidentally cut yourself or your dog. If you have a short-haired heavy shedder, like if you have a lab or a boxer or something with that type of hair, Zoom Groom, these are great. They're just rubber. You can get these at pet stores as well, and you just brush them with it, and it's amazing how much hair these little things pull out. So if you're worried about shedding while your groomer is not working, that's a great tool to have on hand. This particular Furminator for your long-haired dogs, your collies, your Shelties, your things like that, border collies, things that grow that undercoat, these are great. So Furminator rake. Also with the thicker, with the collies, sometimes you need a little bit more, so you can get a double rake. These will help as well. And the teeth actually spin to keep you from getting stuck in their hair. So these are all very safe tools that you can use at home. Moderately safe tool that you can use at home is nail trimmers. So some of you guys are already skilled at trimming your own dog's nails. Some of you aren't. Some of you aren't willing, and I understand because it can be dangerous. If you cut that blood source, it does bleed for a while. So if you are going to tackle nail trimming at home, make sure that you have some stop bleed. You can also get that at any pharmacy, pet store. In a pinch, you can use cornstarch or flour. They don't work as well, but they do work, and you just pack it if you accidentally cut that quick. But there's actually a lot of YouTube videos that are really great that can show you where and how to trim depending on what color your dog's nails are and all that good stuff. So here is a definite no-no for home, and I've seen social media posts for people buying these. Guys, don't do it. This is a de-shedder, and basically it's just a little row of razor blades. So you can see why this is dangerous. It has a little thumb patch that you can hold your thumb on right here, but don't trust this because it will slip, and then your thumb goes down here, and then there's blood, and it's a whole thing. So just don't do it. This is best professional use only tool. Scissors, professional use only tool. You don't want to be trimming eyes and ears, those things. It's just dangerous, guys. Don't do it. Clippers. A lot of you guys are looking at clippers. Most of our clippers are several $100s. This is not just a cheap item that you can buy at home for the next few weeks or however long we're all home. I don't recommend using it. There's a lot of little areas on the dog that can be cut, and we don't want any injuries to happen, so let's not do that. I know some of you guys were talking about you have some issues with the dog's sanitary area. Some matting on the back under the tail from the pooping and all that. We can go over that, and we can go over a safe way to get rid of that, because we're definitely going to need to do that to Wheezy here shortly. So that's about it on the tool. So next time I see you, we'll be brush and wheeze. Alright, so I know she doesn't look a whole lot better, but trust me, she smells a whole lot better. Don't ya? You smell so much better. I know you're mad. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to do some proper brushing. Now, Wheezy's hair is, it's straight, it's not too long. So this slicker brush is perfect for doing. Oh, I know, she doesn't like to be brushed, and your dog may not like to be brushed either. You just got to be patient. So just gently, and up here, just, get the knots out. Now, if you encounter some knots, you can also use the comb. I recommend brushing in patches, or combing rather, backwards. That way you're getting all the way to the skin. If you're just going this way, there could be some mats underneath, depending on how thick your dog's hair is, that you may not even notice just combing this way. So make sure that you're going backwards, just to make sure that you got everything. It doesn't have to be, it's all right, sugar. You don't have to be scared. Now, that being said, I did notice while I was giving Wheezy her bath, and your dog may have some of these too, this tight little mat right here. Now luckily, this mat is a solid inch away from her skin, so I would feel safe cutting this one off. Now, if your dog has matting that's all the way to the skin, and there's less than an inch between the hair and the skin, or the mat and the skin, that's a professional removal. So because they can get sores and hot spots and things underneath those mats, if you feel like it is absolutely necessary to have the matting removed, make an appointment with your vet to have just the mats removed, and when the grooming shops open back up, we can work to get it evened out. If you are going to try to cut your dog's hair, which I don't recommend you do, but if you do, just understand that when you bring your dog back to your groomer, we're really good, but we're not magic. So in order to even it up, likely your dog's going to need to be shaved down to where it's all even. So unless that's the look you're going for, you may just want to hold off and wait for your groomer to do it. So, and just do spot matting. Now, the only other place left to brush after you do the body is the head, obviously, but you want to get these little gunks out. Anything that didn't come out in the bath, make sure that the comb is facing away from you so that it goes this way. You do not want to poke your dog in the eye with a metal tooth comb. So scoop it and just get that all knotted out. And I know they're not going to be able to see as well until you get to your groomer. You can always put it in a little ponytail or something to get it out of their eyes. But it's all clean, and that's what's important. Okay, so now that Wheezy is all brushed out and clean and dry, the last two things I want to talk about are some basic ear cleaning. Again, if your dog has ear infection issues and stuff, you may want to consult your vet before doing any of this stuff. I know that Wheezy doesn't have any of those issues, so I did the ear flush in the bath, but just to get the debris and stuff out, you can use witch hazel. It's a natural astringent. You can put it on a little cotton ball and lift up and just wipe it out. And you can't get too far in there, I promise. You can't hit their eardrum. Their ears are very different than ours. So basically you're just going to get the leftover gunk that's in there. That's right. Shake it off. And then we'll do the other ear real quickly. So even after that ear flush, she still had some debris, so we got that all cleaned out. Good job, Weeze. That's right. And the only other thing that your groomer may handle that hasn't been covered today would be the anal glands. I'm going to recommend that you leave that to the professionals as well. I know some of you guys have dogs that need anal glands done regularly. That is something that you can still go to a vet for. Okay, so for you guys that have dogs that are getting the matting under the tail from pooping and it getting stuck in their hair, I know that's got to get trimmed up. It's pretty important. So in that case, you kind of do need a pair of these, because definitely do not take scissors to your dog's bum. That can be very dangerous, and you don't want to cut that area, I promise. So if you have some people trimmers or, you know, whatever, just be very, very careful and understand that these blades are extremely sharp. So I recommend having something with a guard comb over it, just to put a little bit of distance between your dog's skin and the hair. So you're going to want to turn around. I know Weezy really, really does not like this part. I like to hold them up like this just to stabilize, because you don't want her sitting down on the blade, and that can cause accidents as well. And it also gives you the opportunity to hold the tail up right here. And then you can turn these on and just very gently take that hair off and go up, just to get the poop mats off. Anything that didn't come off in the bath, because sometimes, you know, those things just don't come off in the bath no matter how hard you try. So it's really, really simple to get those off and safely. Right, Weeze? Right. Okay, so Weezy is all smelling good and mat free. Her ears are all clean and she's ready to go home. So thanks for watching. I hope this helped you guys with some tips on how to get your dogs clean while you're waiting for your groomer to reopen. I'm Jamie with Derby City Mobile Vet and the Woofery Spa. We'll talk to you soon.